Hey everyone, and welcome to another Wargaming Terrain tutorial. This week's video we're going to be making some rocks for the tabletop. Now these rocks will be made out of the same extruded polystyrene board that we used last week for the bunker, and towards the end of the video I will give you a few tips and tricks, so hopefully you'll be able to overcome some of the challenges I had with this project this week. Some of those challenges included painting, texturing, and also adding some weight to this project. So here we go. So for this week's project, much like last week's bunker build, we'll just be using some scraps of insulation foam. I believe this is XPS foam. Depending where you are, it might be coming in a different colour, but it's quite a dense foam. It'll be perfect for this project. Now the knives I'll be using to cut this will just mostly be my Stanley knife. I'll have my craft knife on hand for some of the finer details. You could probably also get away with a sharp kitchen knife, so I won't be using it too much in this build, as the Stanley knife seemed to do the trick quite well. Now you notice there I have a small line drawn on the side of this insulation foam. This is the angle I want my rock to be coming out of the tabletop. So to get that line I just sort of lined it up against my work desk on the edge and sort of just tilted it till I felt like it was at the right angle and just drew a quick line on there as a guide. Now when you're cutting through this, I mentioned this in last week's video, if you can prop up your piece of foam slightly off the tabletop so that offcut isn't resting on the tabletop as you cut through it, it will give you less resistance for your knife as it goes through, just makes it slightly easier to cut. Now as I cut this one and laid it on the table to check it, I noticed that the bottom's not entirely straight. That's just because of this blade I'm using. It does tend to want to bend as you're making really thick cuts. So all I'm going to do with the sharp blade in that craft knife there, the Stanley knife, sharp blade will be able to sort of trim back some of those bits that aren't quite straight and give you that flat bottom that you need. Honestly, it's not going to be too big of a problem, but I do want this to sit flat and not wobble on the table when I put it down, so that's the reason I'm sort of just shaving a few bits off there. Now the next thing I want to do is just to trim off some of the extra bits that I know won't be on this final product. So you don't want to cut this back too far because we'll be doing a fair bit of carving out of this rock as we go. Once we get it all glued up, we're going to start adding the textures and taking off a fair bit of this foam. So all I'm doing here is just taking off some of the larger bits that I know won't be in the final product, and that'll just save me having to carve those out piece by piece. So again, you don't want to take off too much at this stage, just get the basic shape of the rock you want and just trim it back a little bit. Now I am going to use this offcut, as I mentioned, just as another boulder on the underside of this rock, just to help sit it flat on the table, stop it from wanting to fall over. We will, as I mentioned later on in the video, towards the end, we'll add some weight to these rocks anyway, but it is good to keep that piece of foam, and if you need to, just build up extra bits around the rock that you make, just to help it sit straighter on the table. Now I'm up in the workshop now just to prepare these for glue up. Now I did mention again in last week's video that this foam, particularly on the shiny edges of this foam, it doesn't want to really take paint or glue very well, so I'm just scuffing this a little bit where I'm going to glue up. This just helps the glue sort of grab into the foam a little bit better and hold it tight. Now for my rocks this week, I'm going to be using some Titebond 3 wood glue. I don't know if this is the best glue to use. Honestly, if you've done any of this foam glue up yourself, please let me know how you've gone with different products. I'm pretty sure PVA glue would be fine here. I just have quite a bit more of this wood glue on hand, so I thought I'd give it a try, and whilst the glue time did take a little while for this to set properly, and this glue doesn't dry clear, which isn't a problem for us in this build, but it was perfectly fine for this glue up. Like I said, a little bit extra drying time I believe than perhaps PVA glue, but let me know in the comments if you've had any experience gluing up this foam and what you used and what you found best. That'd be really helpful. So again, you can just add different bits of foam around this rock wherever you want. It doesn't really matter how much you add on. We are just looking for the basic shape so that we can start carving down into the final textures that we want. So now I know I want this rock to be slightly pointy at the end and not have flat edges on it anywhere, so what we're going to be using is the Stanley knife again to take some rather hefty chunks out of this thing, just to get rid of those square edges and those flat surfaces. It's good to have a look around online for different pictures of rocks and boulders and get a bit of a sense of the kind of rock or the kind of texture you want for your build. It's a bit hard, I found, with this foam particularly to follow exact reference photos, but If you come up with a bit of a theme or a bit of a look that you're going for and try to work towards that on all sides of the foam, generally towards the end you will get something that will suit the purpose and will look perhaps not exactly like your reference photo, but at least close enough to a rock or boulder that you'll be able to get away with it quite well on the tabletop. Now again, I'm using my carving glove here just to sort of protect me against any sort of blade breakages or any slips of this knife. It is really sharp, so if you do have something like this on hand, I highly recommend it. It's a bit unwieldy, especially when you're making cuts into large bits of foam like this, so the smaller rocks I found it's not quite so dangerous, but definitely with the larger things that you make with this foam, it is always good to take as many precautions as you can, which is why I'm using that carving glove there to help save my fingers in case there's a slip of the blade or something. Now you see on the front of this rock here, I have just carved down into sections. I've taken away the large flat surface, and all I'm really doing here is just pushing the blade in a little bit and then breaking off the piece of foam. What that does is gives me those little ledges you'll see all the way down the front, and you'll also notice that there are some sections there where it looks like texture on that rock already. Now that is actually from the blade being a little bit blunt where it's gripped the foam, and whilst it might look okay here on camera, they're really not the best to have in there, so you may need to change your blade a few times just to make sure that you're not getting that grabbing of the foam where it's kind of pulling out little chunks of foam rather than cutting through smoothly. We will add texture towards the end of the video to these flat surfaces that we're creating, so you really don't need those little chunks where the blade's gripped on. Now again, once you've done the front, you do want to make sure that you start taking away those flat corners as well. So I've just started doing some carving into the edges at the front there just to take out some chunks, as you'll see, and I'm going to pretty much emulate what I did on the front of this rock just on the back of this rock as well. Again, this is not going to be a perfect rock that you might see in nature, but what I found is it really does turn out quite well for tabletop terrain. And here I'm just going to try and keep the theme of how this rock comes together, so I'm sort of expecting it's kind of like a slate or a shale kind of thing. So I want the lines to be going across the face of the rock, but also up and down on the sides of this rock, so it does look like layers of rock. So it's important to try and keep the same theme going throughout the build. So here you'll see I'm just carving in with the blade of the tip of the blade of my Stanley knife here, and you can just simply pull out those little slithers of foam, and if you do that enough times all the way up the side of this, it will start to come together and look a little bit more like a rock. Now as you go through this, you might find yourself questioning your choices and whether or not this is actually looking like a rock at all. You might find that, and this is probably true for just about everything we build in terrain, you might find yourself questioning what you're doing and thinking it looks like hot garbage. But trust me, it's best to just keep powering through till you get towards the end of your build. It's amazing what some paint will do, even some grass or some plants on there, some extra textures. These all make a difference towards the end, so don't give up hope as you go through this. You'll see here I'm making another really quick one. Now these boulders, I wasn't entirely happy with these in the end, but this will give you a quick sense of how quick you can really whip one of these together. Obviously this is a little bit sped up, but we're just using the exact same techniques we used in the first rock to make these slightly large squarer boulders coming out of the ground. So again, it's just making small line cuts along here, as well as taking out all the straight corners and trying to get away with or get rid of all the flat surfaces. So this one was actually built with 3 smaller chunks of scrap insulation, just glued together and then just carved away, as you can see. Again, it doesn't look great, but once we put some paint on these, weather them up a little bit of a wash as well, they do come together really well. Now I did promise some tips for this part of the video. The first one will be just adding some texture to these flat surfaces. So as you can see here, these are now starting to come up a little bit more textured. Those flat cuts that we made, we're just going to add some small indents in these. The best way I found to do this was with an old toothbrush, and basically all you want to do is just go around onto it, pressing in fairly firmly because this foam is quite springy, so you do want to press this in pretty hard, but you don't want to sort of break the surface of the foam as you're doing it. The other tip I have for you today is adding in some weight to these. So when I built these and painted them up, put them down on the table, you'll notice that they do fall around really easily. So a bit of a breeze would probably move these around the tabletop, which is definitely no good for us. So what I found is the best way to do this is just to cut a small hole out of the bottom of the rock that you've made. Now you need to just add some weight in here. You could do this in a number of different ways. I'm sure you could add things like sinkers from your tackle box, or maybe some actual rocks into the bottom, some washers or something like that. What I found I had on hand for this was some old bolts that I must have got out of I think it was some outdoor furniture or something like that. Generally before I throw some things away, I'll see if there's anything salvageable from it, and in that case I found the nuts and bolts from that were actually quite good. I haven't found another use for them, but they were perfect for this. So all I've done is just cut out a small square at the bottom so that the head of the bolt will sit in flush and won't raise this rock off the table at all. Next thing I did, because this foam, whilst it is dense, it's pretty easy to push into. You will need a bit of a pilot hole for this though, so I just got a small screwdriver, pushed it in there and sort of wiggled it around a bit to make the hole a little bit bigger. And what that'll let me do now is just to push this bolt, which is quite heavy, up into the base of this rock, and it will actually give it quite a substantial amount more weight than what it had before. Now finally, to painting these things, you can't actually use a spray can or a rattle can to prime these. The paint from those will actually eat away at the foam and take away all your hard work, so don't try that. I also tried it with an airbrush, hitting it with an acrylic primer. Now this didn't work either. It was fine, it went on there, but I found that this rubbed off really easily. So what I did in the end was to hit this with some black paint, Mod Podge and water, and you'll probably need to give this probably at least 2 coats to get the black base coat on there. But once you've done that, it actually protects this and you'll be able to hit it with pretty much anything from there. I just gave these a bit of an airbrushing to get the colour up and give them a bit of a wash after, and as you can see, these look pretty good at this stage. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. I hope you have a go at this. If you have any comments or any experience building with this foam or building your own rocks, please leave a comment down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like and hit subscribe, because I will have another one coming out very soon. I really appreciate you guys watching. Take care and have a good day.